Welcome to Wicked Shizuku's Reviews, bringing you a southern perspective on books, movies, music, and much, much more. Stick around for a while, you just might hear something wicked. Well, hello again, and welcome to episode 54 of Wicked Shizuku's Reviews, and this is a Thursday read, and I will be continuing on with the Oedipus cycle, as it's been quite a while since we visited this one. So, I will be picking up at scene 2 of Oedipus Rex. Creon. Men of Thebes, I am told that heavy accusations have been brought against me by King Oedipus. I am not the kind of man to bear this tamely. If, in these present difficulties, he holds me accountable for any harm to him, through anything I have said or done, why, then, I do not value life in this dishonor. It is not as though this rumor touched upon some private indiscretion. The matter is grave. The fact is that I am being called disloyal to the state, to my fellow citizens, to my friends. Chirogos. He may have spoken in anger, not from his mind. Creon. But did you not hear him say that I was the one who seduced the old prophet into lying? Chorogos. The thing was said. I do not know how seriously. Creon. But you were watching him. Were his eyes steady? Did he look like a man in his right mind? Chorogos. I do not know. I cannot judge the behavior of great men. But here is the king himself. Enter Oedipus. Oedipus. So you dared to come back? Why, how brazen of you to come to my house, you murderer! Do you think I do not know that you plotted to kill me, plotted to steal my throne? Tell me, in God's name, am I a coward, a fool, that you should dream you could accomplish this? A fool who could not see your slippery game. A coward, not to fight back when I saw it. You are the fool, Creon, are you not? Hoping without support or friends to get a throne. Thrones may be won or bought. You could do neither. Creon, now listen to me. You have talked. Let me talk too. You cannot judge unless you know the facts. Oedipus, you speak well. There is one fact, but I find it hard to learn from the deadliest enemy I have. Creon, that above all I must dispute with you. Oedipus, that above all I will not hear you deny. Creon, if you think there is anything good in being stubborn against all reason, then I say you are wrong. Oedipus, if you think a man can sin against his own kind and not be punished for it, I say you are mad. Creon, I agree. But tell me, what have I done to you? Oedipus, you advised me to send that wizard, did you not? Creon, I did. I should do it again. Oedipus, very well, now tell me, how long has it been since Laos? Creon, what of Laos? Oedipus, since he vanished in that onset by the road. Creon, It was long ago, a long time. Oedipus. And this prophet, was he practicing here then? Creon. He was, and with honor, as now. Oedipus. Did he speak of me at that time? Creon. He never did, at least not when I was present. Oedipus. But the inquiry, I suppose you held one. Creon. We did, but we learned nothing. Oedipus. Why did the prophet not speak against me then? Creon. I do not know, and I am the kind of man who holds his tongue when he has no facts to go on. Oedipus. There's one fact that you know, and you could tell it. Creon. What fact is that? If I know it, you shall have it. Oedipus. If he were not involved with you, he could not say. That it was I who murdered Laos. Creon. If he says that, you are the one that knows it. But now it is my turn to question you. Oedipus. Put your questions. I am no murderer. Creon. First then. You married my sister. Oedipus. I married your sister. Creon. And you rule the kingdom equally with her. Oedipus. Everything that she wants, she has from me. Creon. And I am the third, equal to both of you. Oedipus. That is why I call you a bad friend. Creon. No. Reason it out, as I have done. Think of this first. Would any sane man prefer power with all a king's anxieties to that same power and the grace of sleep? Certainly not I. I have never longed for the king's power, only his rights. Would any wise man differ from me in this? As matters stand, I have my way in everything, with your consent, and no responsibilities. If I were king, I should be a slave to policy. How could I desire a scepter more than what is now mine, untroubled influence? No, I have not gone mad. I need no honors, except those with the prerequisites I have now. I am welcome everywhere. Every man salutes me, and those who want your favor seek my ear, since I know how to manage what they ask. Should I exchange this ease for that anxiety? Besides, no sober mind is treasonable. I hate anarchy, and never would deal with any man who likes it. Test what I have said. Go to the priestess at Delphi. Ask if I quoted her correctly. And as for this other thing, if I am found guilty of treason with Tiresias, then sentence me to death. You have my word. It is a sentence I should cast my vote for, but not without evidence. You do wrong when you take good men for bad, bad men for good. A true friend thrown aside. Why, life itself is not more precious. In time, you will know this well, for time and time alone will show the just man. Through scoundrels are discovered in the day. Troilus. This is well said, and a prudent man would ponder it. Judgments too quickly formed are dangerous. Oedipus. But he is not quick in his duplicity, and shall I not be quick to parry him? Would you have me stand still, hold my peace, and let this man win everything through my inaction? Creon. And you want, what is it, then, to banish me? Oedipus. No, not exile. It is your death I want, so that all the world may see what treason means. Creon. You will persist, then. You will not believe me. Oedipus, how can I believe you? Creon, then you are a fool. Oedipus, to save myself. Creon, in justice think of me. Oedipus, you are evil incarnate. Creon, but suppose that you are wrong. Oedipus, still I must rule. Creon, but not if you rule badly. Oedipus, O city, city. Creon, it is my city too. Chorogos, now my lords, be still. I see the queen Iocosta coming from her palace chambers, and it is time she came. For the sake of you both, this dreadful quarrel can be resolved through her. Iocosta, poor foolish men, what wicked den is this? With Thebes sick to death, it is not shameful that you should rake some private quarrel up. Come into the house. And you, Creon, go now. Let us have no more of this tumult over nothing. Creon. Nothing. No, sister. What your husband plans for me is one of two great evils, exile or death. Oedipus, he is right. Why, woman, I have caught him squarely plotting against my life. Creon, no, let me die. Accurse it, if ever I have wished you harm. Iocosta, ah, believe it, Oedipus. In the name of the gods, respect this oath of his, for my sake, for the sake of these people here. Chorogos. Strophe 1. Open your mind to hear her, my lord. Be ruled by her, I beg you. Oedipus, what would you have me do? Chorogos. Respect Creon's word. He has never spoken like a fool, and now he has sworn an oath. Oedipus, you know what you ask. Chorogos, I do. Oedipus, speak on then. Chorogos, a friend so sworn should not be baited so, in blind malice, without final proof. Oedipus, you are aware, I hope, that what you say means death for me, or exile at the least. Chorogos, Strophe 2. No, I swear by Helios, first in heaven, may I die friendless and accursed, the worst of deaths, if I ever meant that. It is the withering fields that hurt my sick heart. Must we bear all these ills? And now your bad blood as well. Oedipus, then let him go, and let me die, if I must, or be driven by him in shame from the land of Thebes. It is your unhappiness, and not his talk, that touches me. As for him, wherever he goes, hatred will follow him. Creon, ugly and yielding as you are ugly in rage, natures like yours chiefly torment themselves. Oedipus, can you not go? Can you not leave me? Creon, I can. You do not know me, but the city knows me, and in its eyes I am just, if not in yours. Exit Creon. Chorogos, Antistrophe 1. Lady Iocosta, did you not ask the king to go to his chambers? Iocosta, first tell me what has happened. Chorogos, there was a suspicion without evidence, yet it rankled, as even false charges will. Iocosta, on both sides? Chorogos, on both. Iocosta, but what was said? Chorogos, oh, let it rest. Let it be done with. Have we not suffered enough? Oedipus, you see what your decency has brought you. You have made difficulties where my heart saw none. Chorogos, Antistrophe 2. Oedipus, it is not once only I have told you. You must know I should count myself unwise, to the point of madness, should I now forsake you. You, under whose hand, in the storm of another time, our dear land sailed out free, but now stand fast at the helm. Iocosta. In God's name, Oedipus, inform your wife as well. Why are you so set in this hard anger? Oedipus. I will tell you, for none of these men deserves my confidence as you do. It is Creon's work, his treachery, his plotting against me. Iocosta. Go on. If you can make this clear to me. Oedipus, he charges me with the murder of Laos. Iocosta. Has he some knowledge, or does he speak from heresy? Oedipus. He would not commit himself to such a charge, but he has brought in that damnable soothsayer to tell his story. Iocosta. Set your mind at rest. If this is a question of soothsayers, I tell you that you will find no man whose craft gives knowledge of the unknowable. Here is my proof. An oracle was reported to Laos once, I will not say from Phoebus himself, but from his appointed ministers at any rate, that his doom would be death at the hands of his own son, his son, born of his flesh and of mine. Now you remember the story. Laos was killed by marauding strangers, where 3 highways meet. But his child had not been 3 days in this world before the king had pierced the baby's ankles and left him to die on a lonely mountainside. Thus Apollo never caused that child to kill his father, and it was not Laos's fate to die at the hands of his son, as he had feared. This is what prophets and prophecies are worth. Have no dread of them. It is God himself who can show us what he wills in his own way. Oedipus. How strange, a shadowy memory crossed my mind. Just now, while you were speaking, it chilled my heart. Iocosta. What do you mean? What memory do you speak of? Oedipus. If I understand you, Laos was killed at a place where 3 roads meet. Iocosta. So it was said. We have no later story. Oedipus. Where did it happen? Iocosta. Phoicus, it is called, at a place where the Theban way divides into the roads towards Delphi and Dolia. Oedipus. When? Iocosta. We had the news not long before you came and proved the right to your succession here. Oedipus. Ah, what net has God been weaving for me? Iocosta. Oedipus. Why does this trouble you? Oedipus. Do not ask me yet. First, tell me how Laos looked, and tell me how old he was. Iocosta. He was tall, his hair just touched with white. His form was not unlike your own. Oedipus. I think that I myself may be accursed by my own ignorant edict. Iocosta. You speak strangely. It makes me tremble to look at you, my king. Oedipus. I am not sure that the blind man can not see, but I should know better if you were to tell me. Iocosta. Anything, though I dread to hear you ask it. Oedipus. Was the king lightly escorted, or did he ride with a large company as a ruler should? Iocosta. There were 5 men with him in all. One was a herald, and a single chariot which he was driving. Oedipus. Alas, that makes it plain enough. But who? Who told you how it happened? Iocosta. A household servant, the only one to escape. Oedipus. And is he still a servant of ours? Iocosta. No, for when he came back at last and found you enthroned in the place of the dead king, he came to me, touched my hand with his, and begged that I should send him away to the frontier district, where only the shepherds go, as far away from the city as I could send him. I granted him his prayer, for although the man was a slave, he had earned more than this favor at my hands. Oedipus, can he be called back quickly? Iocosta, easily, but why? Oedipus, I have taken too much upon myself without inquiry, therefore I wish to consult him. Iocosta, then he shall come, but I am not one also, to whom you might confide these fears of yours. Oedipus, that is your right. It will not be denied to you. Now least of all, for I have reached a pitch of wild foreboding. Is there anyone to whom I should sooner speak? Polybos of Corinth is my father. My mother is of Dorian, Merope. I grew up chief among the men of Corinth until a strange thing happened, not worth my passion, it may be, but strange. At a feast, a drunken man marauding in his cups cries out that I am not my father's son. I contained myself that night, though I felt anger and a sinking heart. The next day I visited my father and mother and questioned them. They stormed, calling it all the slanderous rant of a fool, and this relieved me. Yet the suspicion remained always aching in my mind. I knew there was talk. I could not rest, and finally, saying nothing to my parents, I went to the shrine at Delphi. The god dismissed my question without reply. He spoke of other things. Some were clear, full of wretchedness, dreadful, unbearable, as I should lie with my own mother, breed children from whom all men would turn their eyes, and that I should be my father's murderer. I heard all this and fled, and from that day Corinth to me was only in the stars, descending in that quarter of the sky, as I wandered farther and farther on my way to a land where I should never see the evils sung by the oracle. And I came to this country, where, so you say, King Laos was killed. I will tell you all that happened there, my lady. There were 3 highways coming together at a place I passed, and there a herald came towards me, and a chariot drawn by horses, with a man such as you describe, seated in it. The groom, leading the horses, forced me off the road at his lord's command. But as this charioteer lurched over towards me, I struck him in my rage. The old man saw me and brought his double goad down upon my head as I came abreast. He was paid back and more. Swinging my club in this right hand, I knocked him out of his car, and he rolled on the ground. I killed him. I killed them all. Now, if that stranger and Laos were kin, where is a man more miserable than I, more hated by the gods, citizen and alien alike, must never shelter me or speak to me. I must be shunned by all. And I myself pronounce this malediction upon myself. Think of it. I have touched you with these hands that killed your husband. What defilement! Am I all evil? It must be so, since I must flee from Thebes, yet never again see my own countrymen, my own country, for fear of joining my mother in marriage and killing Polybos, my father. Ah! If I was created so, born to this fate, who could deny the savagery of God? O holy majesty of heavenly powers, may I never see that day, never. Rather let me vanish from the race of men than know the abomination destined me. Chorogos, we too, my lord, have felt dismay at this, but there is hope. You have yet to hear the shepherd. Oedipus, indeed, I fear no other hope is left me. Iocosta, what do you hope from him when he comes? Oedipus, this much. If his account of the murder tallies with yours, then I am cleared. Iocosta, what was it that I said of such importance? Oedipus, why, marauders, you said, killed the king, according to this man's story. If he maintains that still, if there were several, clearly the guilt is not mine. I was alone. But if he says one man single-handed did it, then the evidence all points to me. Iocosta, you may be sure that he said that there were several. And can he call back what story now? He cannot. The whole city heard it as plainly as I. But suppose he alters some detail of it. He can never show that Laus's death fulfilled the oracle, for Apollo said my child was doomed to kill him, and my child, poor baby, it was my child that died first. No, from now on, where oracles are concerned, I would not waste a second thought on any. Oedipus, you may be right, but come. Let someone go for the shepherd at once. This matter must be settled. Iocosta, I will send for him. I would not wish to cross you in anything, and surely not in this. Let us go in. Exeunt into the palace. And that was scene 2 from the Oedipus Rex play by Sophocles. And sometime we will revisit this. Now, if you found this educational or you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you're new here, please rewind into the playlist to be able to listen to the first scenes from the Oedipus Rex play. And we shall see you again soon. Have a good evening. Good night.